Okay, so now we're going to start working with lists. So lists are, I accidentally muted myself. So we're going to start working with lists, which are going to be a collection of more primitive variables. So primitive variables are like, integers, floats, Booleans, but you can also store more complicated things in there. You can put strings and other lists. You can even do lists within lists. So just to start, if we have our list, all right, it's going to equal, we're going to put the word hello. We're going to put the numbers 1. We're going to put the numbers 12, d6, the value true. We'll put world. Okay, so I can just print this list, right? And we get all this stuff in there. So we get the quotes to signify when something's a string, which don't exist when you have different variables in there. So if I want to find the item of, I want to find one item in here. There's a couple things we can do. So if you remember from strings, and there's indexes. So for hello, H is index 0, E is index 1, L is index 2. The same thing works for strings by each item. So the whole thing, hello, right? That's going to be index 1 or 0. 12 is going to be index 1. 56 is going to be index 2. Then true is going to be index 3. And world is going to be index 4. Okay. So I can print just list at 3. And that's just our true. So you see how that corresponds. So when I'm working more and more with the list, I can add something into the list. So let's do X. Let's just print our list. And we're going to do X is going to equal int input, enter an integer to place in the list. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take list, and we're going to call dot append X. So this adds X to the end of the list. So now let's print list again. So let's say I want to add the integer 8. Now we add 8 to our list. I can, instead of appending, I can do, say I want to put it in a specific location, I can do dot insert at index 2. And the object we're putting in there is X. So now if I put in 3, it puts itself in between 3 and 12 and 56, as you can see here. If I want to take something out of a list, there's a few things I can do. One of the best is if you know the index, we can pop out that index. So let's say I want to take list and remove the first thing. I'm going to pop whatever's in the beginning. So if I do dot pop in that index, now when I come down here, hello is taken out of the index. I can also take this out and store it in a different variable. And then later, I can print b dot centered in 12 stars. Can take whatever's in the beginning. And there we go. And store it in a variable for other things. The other thing we can do is instead of, if you don't know it, but you know the value in it, then you would do dot remove hello. and then that would take out that, I can change this to world. So if you know the index, you would use pop. If you know the index, use pop. If you know the objects, you would use remove. So there's two other methods that are important. You can take the list and actually, yeah, there's two that are important. So we can take the list, list.reverse. Can reverse the list. Oh, this doesn't work because you can't. I gotta just call it on itself. List.reverse, now print list. So that flips flops it. I can do list.sort. Let me put this as print list so we can see the difference. So the issue with .sort is, so we're gonna have to change what list is. We're just gonna make list equal to A, B, C. Well, let's also do A, B, C in lowercase. So you have to use either numbers or letters. You can't mix and match when you're doing .sort. So .sort will make it go alphabetical, first going capital, then lowercase. If you want it to be sorted in reversed order, you can do reverse equals true. So this would be descending order when you set reverse equal to true. Right, so then it's gonna go CBA, CBA. If I set reverse equal to false, this is ascending order. Right, okay. One more that I forgot is we can just print, we can also just find the size of the list, just do .count, right? What does that say? Takes exactly one argument. Oh, sorry, I forgot. This is not that. The size of the list would be length of list. You do length list. There's 6 items in this list. When I do count, I can do list.count how many, you can put how many A's there are in here. So that will count 1A, one capital A. If I do this dot lower, it'll count 1 lowercase a too. So those are all the important things for lists. I mean, I guess I can also just go over quick. You can have list 1 is equal to, we'll just keep that. List 2 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's copy this list for list 3. So I can make a list equal to list 1, list 2, and then list 3. So this is a list of lists. So now you can see down here, let's take out everything else actually. Take out everything else. List 1. Okay. Okay. So now we can see here, this is index 0. This is index 1. Actually, let me clear this so I can draw it better. So this is going to be index 0. This is going to be index 1. And this is going to be index 2. But within these, we have more indexes. So I can break this up and do another, right? In each of these, we have 0, 1, 2, and so forth. We have, 0, 1, and so forth. I'm just not doing them all because there's no point. You get the idea. You can count up from 0 to 1, 0, 1, 2, right? And then this would be 3 and 4. So if I'm coding, I want to print, it's in the first index, right? This would get just one list. Here, wait, let me clear this now. This would get just one list. But if I go bracket again and get 0, I'm going to get the first item in that list. Oh, whoops, I didn't actually type it. Now we get just A. So I can go the first item in the second list, right? You can go the second item in the second list, or the third item in the second list, right? So that's how you do multiple lists. So there's another type of collection other than lists that I'll just go over quickly. Instead of a list, you can have a tuple, right? So instead of bracket for a tuple, you do parentheses and you do list 1, list 2, list 3. The big difference here is just, I can do the same tuple index 1 and 2. Right, that gets 1 and 2 again. Print list, print tuple. Right. The big difference here, though, is that you can't change what's in a tuple. So you can't do all those methods that I showed before. Tuples are just more static, so you just can't really change what's in them. So that's the important thing to know for that. Tuples I use a lot rarer than lists because I want everything to be more free flowing, but it's good for when you need static data storage, when you do more complicated things, to use a tuple for that purpose. So hope this helps. Good luck.